Now the reason why I've got to add light switches, a cut-in switch for that right there, for the track light that's going to go up there. You see that ceiling is an angled ceiling, and there's no attic above that ceiling. That's why I'm going to have to minimize the work and figure out how I'm going to do that with my existing conditions inside this room. Because see, I can't really, if I add any switches there, then I have to do some major sheetrock work. Because see, above there, there's a little loft before the ceiling, but then there's no attic. So I'd have to take this sheetrock off the wall, cut some holes, fish the wire down to the light switch, cut the sheetrock above the door, go across over onto that wall, and then fish the wire on up to the ceiling for that track lighting. Now, I could do that, and then I could take that 2-gang light switch box out of there and put a 3-gang or a 4-gang switch box in there with 4 switches total for my additional track lights. If I want, it's just going to cause me a lot more work and damage to my walls. That's why I'm going to go from that plug on up to a cut-in switch to my track light. And the same thing underneath the desk. Do you see? Think about stuff like that before you start your project. That's one of the most important things you've got in this room to deal with, is where your plug's at and how you're going to run your lights. If you had a sheetrock ceiling and you had an attic above there, then yeah, you could go from these switches and fish a wire from there up into your attic, and then run your wires across the attic and then down exactly where you want. But in this case, I don't have that. So think of all your things first before you start working on your floor, or before you start painting or putting your desk in the exact place you want, because the electrical, you want your electrical set up for this room. Now here's something else to consider. If you ever want to change your room back to a guest bedroom or just a regular bedroom or whatever, and you decide you don't want a studio in there anymore, I'm going to have a light switch there, but I could take the light switch out and put a blank plate there, so there's only a blank cover plate there, and I could take the track lighting down if I wanted. So I'm trying to think of different options that I'm going to have to do for this room in case I ever want to change it back into a bedroom.
Look, Ma! No hands!